issues when I logged on. Oh, here we go.
The StreamYard is not having issues now because we are live on the Believe in Monsters podcast for another week. And I know last week's was a little all over the place, but this week we have some real news to talk about. A little rookie minicamp and a full schedule, 17 games. We'll talk about how the Bears are going 17-0 for going to the Super Bowl behind Caleb Williams. But before we do that, we want to introduce ourselves. This is the Believe in Monsters podcast, and you listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast. We're a proud part of the Believe Network. You can find us on the Twitter machine at BIM_pod. We bring you a podcast, try to do it every week, talking Chicago Bears, and we're so excited for the new season. You can follow our friend Chris Krogman at ShyBears1985 and my friend Lucas Berry at LBerry_40. I'm Joe Gaither, and you can find me sometimes at Joe Gaither6. Let's get right into it. Lucas, 17-0, right? New schedule released. How you feeling?
Super Bowl, Super Bears. Yes. I don't know if you guys saw, but Nick Wright apparently thinks it's possible. He was on TV today saying that he thinks Caleb Williams could go to the Super Bowl year one.
Okay, I thought it was 17-0. I was like, no, it's not possible.
He put the hex on us, but he truly believes that the Bears should be a playoff team this year and could be a potential contender. I don't mind Nick Wright, actually. He gets a lot of hate. I'm not just saying that because he said nice things about the Bears. I actually genuinely don't mind the dude. Anyway, excited for the schedule release. Excited to circle the calendar for what game or games I'm going to try and go to. We have the schedule. NFL makes a big deal out of everything, and it's kind of awesome how everything is a big deal. You know, you get the draft is this huge ordeal. The schedule release is a nationally televised event. It's kind of crazy. And now we have a third Hard Knocks, which I didn't even know existed. Apparently the Giants are on it. Did you guys know about that? Off-season Hard Knocks? That's training camp?
This year. That's new this year.
Man. So
whatever.
Do you think they're allowed
for maximizing their shit, dude?
No, yeah, that's kind of my point. But like, if the Giants are on that, do you think they would also be allowed to be on the other Hard Knocks, or no?
Allowed, sure. Do I think it's good for television and good business? No.
Or I don't even know if I don't even know what teams are eligible. I think it was the Broncos, the Bears, and maybe the Saints. I'm not sure.
I tell you what, this NFL schedule release tells me that the Bears are not going on Hard Knocks.
Why?
Because of the London game.
You're playing in London and you're playing the preseason game. Basically, the Bears, the callback to, was it last week or the week earlier?
What does that have? What is that? Oh, so you're buying the rumor that the Bears are giving up things to not be on Hard Knocks.
If they're not on it at this point, it's pretty obvious to me.
Well, they haven't announced it yet, right?
No, they haven't announced it, so they could still be on it for sure. But if they go with another team,
we talk about the viewership that the NFL is trying to drum up, though, right? There's no other bigger thing in football than the Bears being on Hard Knocks. Like, that would shatter any TV record they ever set before on that show.
Oh, yeah.
They would. Like, it's not even close. So, like, at some point, the NFL just has to be like, F this. They're going on Hard Knocks. And we got Anthony in the chat here saying, Bears on Hard Knocks or sell the team. Resident Bears fan, Anthony. Speak it up here.
you know
what I'm saying, though?
The Joe, right? That if we're going to London and we're playing the Hall of Fame game, then that's already been worked out.
Yeah. I do think the international games, just like Hard Knocks, though, I think teams have some kind of commitment to be in an international game every few years. Like, there is some kind of like stipulation.
One like every year.
International? No, they haven't played international in a few years.
Okay. All right. I feel like they've been over there a lot in London. Let's see.
I also don't know did you guys notice that Amazon Prime is not messing around with Thursday night games? Like, the Thursday night games this year are great. Some really good matchups on Thursday this year. They're not just the joke.
Really?
That's awesome. The schedule anymore. Like, the Thursday night slate is sick.
The unfortunate part about that is the freaking the fantasy impact, because it's always like low scoring, or a lot of times it's low scoring. So Bears, Broncos, and Saints can be forced to do Hard Knocks.
Right.
It's going to be the Broncos.
Now, okay, if the Bears
the Saints aren't even interesting.
No, I mean, I don't really think the Broncos are interesting either.
I don't think the Broncos are interesting either. I mean, other than Sean Payton and I guess Bo Nix is a little bit of an interesting story, but I do. You know what, Lucas? Like now that we're here, I'm gonna bring it up because like that freaking quarterback room in Pittsburgh is going to be such a toxic disaster, dude. It's going to be that's who should be on Hard Knocks. I don't care about the Fields aspect. I think more funny is the Russell Wilson aspect of it, and the fact that he's such a prima donna drama queen. And then Fields wouldn't even listen to Foles. I think this is going to be so much fun for poor Steelers fans, which is all of my wife's family.
Mike Tomlin just has this knack for managing drama, unlike any other coach, though. It's crazy. So we'll see. But the Steelers being on Hard Knocks is probably something the world will never see just because they're always good enough to not be on the show.
Yeah.
So
no, I feel you.
Maybe that's what they need to show on the TV, though. Maybe they need to show what a well-run organization looks like to the fans. But
just to close your loop here, the Bears have played internationally twice, in 2011 against the Buccaneers and in 2019 against the Raiders.
Well, while you're here, Joe, as our network researcher, can you see if there's an international regulation, like a rule? I'm pretty sure teams have to play X amount of international games every so many years. But to your point about the theory that the Bears aren't on Hard Knocks because they're, accepting a home game in London and also being in the Hall of Fame game to avoid being on the show. If they're not on the show this year, then I will fully believe that rumor. What do you think, Chris? Do you think it's a true rumor? Do you think it's fact or fiction?
I think it's 100%. Well, what do you want me to say? Do I think that George is going to try to get out of it in any way, shape, or form? Yeah, I absolutely think he's going to try.
No, I'm just saying, like, do you think that, yeah, he's definitely going to try and get out of it. I'm saying, do you think that there is actually some legitimacy to the NFL being like, okay, we'll kind of make a deal with you where you don't have to be on it if you do X, Y, and Z. Like, I just think at some point they have to make them be on it 'cause they're losing viewers because of it.
You think they're losing viewers because they don't have the Chicago Bears on there?
I think they would have way more.
They would have way more. I think they would they are.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you really think they're sacrificing that?
I don't know.
Just because the Bears said they don't want to be on it. Like, that's what I'm trying to be like.
Who's losing, though? Like, is only HBO's losing here, right? Not like the NFL.
Sure,
right?
the NFL gets a kickback of that money. I don't know.
No, probably. That would make sense.
Luke, to answer your question, I didn't find any sort of annual or biannual or any sort of requirement for the Bears or for anybody.
Okay. I might have been wrong there. Well, anyways, we have a schedule now. Do you guys want to dive right into it? I mean, do we even want to talk about the preseason? I don't care about the preseason.
You want to just fly through it real quick and then we'll dive into it?
Sure.
Well, let's just the only preseason thing I want to talk about is how many we've seen how Fields has handled his rookie season and how other coaches have handled rookie quarterbacks. How much time do you think? How many snaps do you think Caleb gets? Do you think does he get a quarter? Like, is he treated like a typical vet? Does he get more than a typical vet gets, but less than a rookie? Like, what kind of playing time do you think he gets in the preseason?
I think you play a little, but goodness gracious. I think that really what Eberflus kind of said during rookie minicamp, he's our starter, there's no conversation, kind of indicates, or you can kind of extrapolate that a little bit to where I think that he'll play in the preseason a little, but I think they'll treat him like the starter and like a typical NFL starter. I think you'll get a couple series probably in the first game. I mean, you get four. Bears are getting 4 games this year, so probably won't play in the Hall of Fame game, and then probably will start in week 1 and run through 3 series maybe. and then he'll start week 2, and he'll probably run maybe 5 series or so, and then probably hold him out week 3.
I think he'd be held out altogether in week 3.
I think they play 4 preseason games, right? Because the Hall of Fame game,
right? But it's the third week. Is that the Hall of Fame game is like that week 0.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't think you'll play like a whole lot at all in that third week. I think that they'll be wanting to see what they have in the rest of the roster, and you don't want to throw Caleb Williams out there with a bunch of backup offensive linemen and wide receivers.
Facts.
It'll honestly be interesting to see how much run they give Bagent in the preseason too. Not to get off the Caleb Williams topic, but Bagent already proved he can win NFL games starting. He'll probably dominate in the preseason if they let him play. But I'm curious if they let Brett Rippon and that other kid duke it out for a QB3 spot more so than anything. But I think we'll see a lot of Caleb Williams in the Hall of Fame game, kind of as the spotlight, and then I think they'll dial it back to just a few series in the next few.
That's fair.
Also, is it normal for teams to play each other in the preseason and then the regular season? I feel like when I saw that they played the Texans in the preseason and also in the regular season, that's kind of odd. I feel like it normally doesn't happen like that.
Aren't the preseason games basically up to the teams to schedule?
I'm not sure.
I think they are.
Yeah, I think it's a little weird as well.
I think the preseason games are the onus is on the teams to schedule who they're.
Yeah, but I think the Hall of Fame game though is different because I think that's the NFL's kind of spotlight game.
Right.
So the Bears obviously had a few guys in this year, and did the Texans have anyone? I'm guessing Andre Johnson or so made it from there. Did the Texans have any Hall of Famers? Why are they in this game?
2024 Hall of Fame class is, here you go, loading. Dwight Freeney, Rashad Gardner, Devin
also,
Hester,
while you're talking
Andre
about
Johnson.
Yeah, Andre Johnson. Okay, so that makes sense. That's why they're in it. Back to international real quick. I did find each NFL team is guaranteed to play a home game at an international site every 8 seasons. So,
whoa,
there's your answer. I knew somewhere in the international ruling, teams were basically forced to play an international home game every so many years. 8. It's 8 though, so it's
few and far between.
Yeah,
essentially.
Exactly.
Unless you're the Bears, then it's every 3 years or so. So far. So I think for me, I think Caleb gets a little bit more time than we've seen from Justin or whatever. I think they get him whatever they give the starters, whatever run they give the starters. I think you're right, Joe. They're not going to throw him out there with the backups, but maybe.
No, I think the main takeaway from all this too is that the Bears are making a clear and obvious point that they're trying to make this different than how they've treated other situations before. Andy Dalton's our starter type of garbage. And
Mike Glennon.
The fact that Caleb's going to get all these snaps in camp and get all these reps in camp is going to help him just as much as playing in the preseason. So
they paid Mike Glennon $17 million that year, and he lasted a game and a half. And they wait. I mean, look, I'm not here crying about Trubisky. They wasted that whole time, that whole fall with Trubisky.
Didn't Andy Dalton do the same? Wasn't it a week and a half before he got hurt? I think the Bengals was the second week when he got hurt.
Just ridiculous. Just ride with the guy you drafted number 1 overall. Let's see what he's got.
Well, it's good. Eberflus has got the attitude right. So let's get into the schedule, boys.
MFS. Let's go.
Home against the Titans. Road against the Texans on Sunday Night Football. Road against the Colts. 3 AFC South teams in a row. Home against the Rams. Home against the Panthers. In London against the Jacksonville Jaguars on a bye. And you go, road against the Commanders. Road against the Cardinals. And you're back home. Yep, back home with the Patriots, and then against the puke and piss. And you get home against the Minnesota Vikings. We're playing back on Thanksgiving this year with the Detroit Lions. Then we're on the road. and you're on the road against San Francisco 49ers. You're playing Monday Night Football on the road in Minnesota. That'll be J.J. McCarthy. That'll be great. And then home against the Lions. Thursday night against the Seattle Seahawks, and then back on the road last game in hell, basically.
Why is it always the last week on the road there? Every 3-4 fucking years in a row, dude. This is ridiculous, dude.
The NFL just gives them the NFL just gives them the advantage. But all right, that's just the real quick shit it out schedule. Let's start talking about it. Week 1 against the Titans. Look, winnable game. Let's go.
I love this.
1-0.
I absolutely love this opening match, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but I called this. Everyone was like, "Oh, the Bears might be on prime time," and I said they're probably going to play some random effing AFC team on 1 p.m. And it's the Titans, the ugliest, most boring team you could possibly put out there from the AFC, and I love it. They basically have a brand new coaching staff. Their quarterback is unproven, and I think he absolutely stinks. Their defense stinks. Their line stinks. Henry. They're not a good football team. The Bears should absolutely beat them week 1. Brand new coaching staff. They're going to have to get in the swing of things. I love this matchup for Caleb Williams. It's low pressure. 1 p.m. You're at home. No prime time. Bring it on.
That's the best part about this schedule is the pretty much kind of like a ramp up period almost. It's almost like the
absolutely,
NFL.
Dude. The first 10
100%
weeks
did it for you.
I think the first 10 weeks might be the easiest first 10 weeks in the NFL.
I think somebody said that. Some talking head said that as well. But he's not more important than you, Lucas. So you had it first. Yeah, I think it's a good matchup at home. Get the crowd behind the kid. Titans are who the hell is their coach?
Callahan
from the Bengals, right?
And that's what are we doing? Why are we retreading old offensive line coaches as head coaches?
No.
Mike
That's
Vrabel
the son.
that guy?
That's the son. So Bill Callahan is the famous O-line coach, and he is coaching their O-line, but his son is the head coach. It's kind of weird. I don't know the last time a son has been.
It's not Tommy Callahan.
No, he was the
Callahan Auto.
I think his name's Brian Callahan. He's one of those coaches that if you saw him in the coach's photo, you'd be like, "Who the hell is that guy?"
Oh, dude, I looked at that this year, and obviously, there was 4 coaches missing. First off, Eberflus being one of them, but I couldn't pick out 60% of them dudes. I know who Andy Reid is, I know who McVay is, I know who a lot of the folks are, but these dudes are random. I couldn't tell you who the Bengals guy. I don't know who that dude. I can't remember his name right now. I don't know who these folks are. Zach Taylor, yeah.
So I love this opening match for the Bears. I think they match up well with the Titans, and they should beat them. They really should. Good way to start the season.
Dub? I'll do a dub. Joe, we already know default dub.
Man, I don't want to get my hopes too high, but it's just even if the Bears came out slow, I'm just completely expecting the Titans to come out slow no matter what. Yep. Brand new everything for them. It's going to be tough for them to come out hot, especially on the road.
It's going to be 28-17 Bears. It's going to be 24-17 Bears.
I hope so, man. I sure hope so. But this is also how we felt last year. The Bears are going to go in there and roll them, and then we got a freaking butts kick. So,
yeah, but we have a lot of different things happening this year. I mean, obviously, DJ Moore was the big story last year. This year, Caleb, Rome, Keenan Allen, new offensive coordinator, new passing game coordinator. I think new defensive coordinator. Not that really makes a difference. I think it's still Eberflus, but it's not the same as last year. Is all I'm saying. Right. I know that what you're saying, the vibes are high. We're always optimistic, dude. We're fucking Bears fans, dude.
But also this to me is also it's not like you're playing your division rival. That pressure is not there as much. Like I said, you're just playing a random team a random bad team from the AFC. You should beat them.
Yep. Week 2 in Houston against Rookie of the Year CJ Strudel and former Viking Danielle Hunter. This is an L. I mean, this isn't going to go well. I mean, the Texans were good last year. They're going to be good again next year. Didn't they add an offensive weapon too?
Yeah, Diggs. Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, hold on.
That guy's pretty good at football.
Right,
I think they also.
They got Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, and Tank Dell.
They signed a running back, I think.
Joe Mixon.
Yeah, Joe Mixon. That's what it is. Yeah, now this is a game I don't think they'll win. For me, it's more so, can you score some points to maybe keep up with them a little bit? That would make me happy. But I think this will be a good test for the defense early on. And I think people will really see how good or bad the Bears defense is early on in the year with this test.
Yeah, I mean, last year it was, beat the bad quarterbacks and really struggle against the good quarterbacks. I think we're probably all three of us in agreement that C.J. Stroud falls into that good quarterback category. So it's going to be, I think, a challenge. I mean, you go on the road. Is that Houston's home opener? I haven't looked at Houston's schedule, but I mean, it's the first Sunday night game for the Bears, and obviously, I guess Houston that'll be their Sunday night game as well.
Yes.
So it's their home opener. That NRG is gonna be rocking. I think that's gonna end up being a tough night for the Bears.
No. Oh, wait. What the hell? Yeah, they open at the Colts.
All right. Yeah. So, boom, their home opener. I think that it'll be a decent little litmus test to see where you are and kind of where you're going to stack up with the next, 15 weeks, 16 weeks or so.
Whenever the Bears are on prime time, I'm just like, just don't get blown out, man. Just don't. That's the worst thing, especially if Caleb had a bad rookie game early on. Just don't embarrass us, man.
Dude, I feel like this is I'm filling out the spreadsheet as we go through this, and I swear I'm having deja vu of Lucas saying something similar last year. Just don't get blown out in prime time. Come on, guys, just don't be embarrassed.
I mean, I'm just the Chargers game last year is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. Just ultimate letdown game. You get your ass absolutely handed to you on primetime once again, and people are just typical Bears, lights too bright. Just score some points, make it at least a little entertaining.
That's the issue is you get people who don't watch the Bears week in and week out, and then they see the Bears on Thursday Night Football or against the Commanders 2 years ago and lose 9-7 or whatever. You see them on Sunday Night Football. You see, oh my gosh, how many times have the Packers just blown your doors off on national TV? I'm with you, Luke. It's just because these people don't watch the Bears week in and week out, and they make these huge judgments, and they do it to every team, but they make these huge judgments based on, one game I sat down with the couch and some beer. Oh, these Bears, they suck. I could sit here and tell my friends that the Bears actually improved down the stretch last year, and they'd all say that I'm a fucking liar. And it's well, I'm not, but I understand your perspective.
Yeah.
So I'm giving them a loss here, but I will say their saving grace is that they're playing the Texans early, and sometimes that could potentially work in their favor. What do we think? We all go on loss here?
L City for sure.
1-1. Next, Bears are on the road down. What is that? Is that 65? Is that I-65? Down the interstate by about 4 hours, and is going to be playing the Indianapolis Colts. And you suck, Colts. This is a win. You suck. You and your little Chris Ballard smug, we got the best pass rusher in the draft. You suck. This is a win for the Bears. Anthony Richardson is an experiment that will absolutely fail in this league. He may give you a few highlights, but he will absolutely fail in this league. So the Bears, You gotta beat the bad quarterbacks. At least do what you did last year. Beat the bad quarterbacks, and Anthony Richardson is a bad quarterback. They upgraded their weapons just a little.
I'm not quite there yet.
Colts.
I think
I'm on the complete opposite end.
Yeah, I think Richardson looked decent.
80 Mitchell,
making
Jonathan Taylor. Okay, basically you shut down Jonathan Taylor. Look, Luke, take my word for it. Anthony Richardson is not good.
Adonai Mitchell is wearing number 10 because 10 wide receivers were taken before him.
I love that dude. I cannot believe he fell that far.
Yeah, that's impressive. I think this is an L.
Yeah, this is an on the fence game for me. I mean, I think the Colts are kind of like they're basically like the AFC version of the Bears, in my opinion. I think
mid as fuck.
I think they're very similar team builds, Joe. I really do. Like, I think both are kind of up and down. You know, we don't know about the quarterback yet. Obviously, we love the potential of Caleb, but he hasn't proven anything in the NFL.
Caleb is a better quarterback than Anthony. Look, Anthony Richardson cannot process a feed. Oh gosh,
dude, he looked good when he played last year. He gets hurt because he runs. He looked pretty good when he played.
What? Where are you drawing that from, Joe? Because I've heard the exact opposite. He's very intelligent and knows very well how to process.
Watching him in college.
Well, that Florida coaching or that he went to Florida.
Yeah, okay. He played in 4 games last year. He had 59.5% completion, 577 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Great. That's not good.
4 games and how many yards? 600?
Almost 600 in 4 games. Not good.
It's kind of better than
average yards per attempt is 7 yards per attempt. Average yards for a completion 6.9. Like, he's not good. Took 7 sacks in those 4 games. Let me see your rushing total. Total. He ran for 136 yards and 4 touchdowns in those 4 games.
The other main story here is Eberflus going back to Indianapolis
with that beard and mustache.
Revenge game.
Revenge Flus.
Former defensive coordinator.
I'm gonna give the Bears a win here, but I am very much on the fence for this game.
All right. Week 4. Rams in Chicago. McVay versus Waldron and Thomas Brown. Matthew Stafford, former Lion, coming back to Chicago. I don't think he was very good in Chicago, but whatever. What do I know? What do we think here?
Man, this is another tough one. For me, doing these schedule predictions is easier to do it in groups than individual games. Because, like, if you told me Colts and Rams, I'd be like, the Bears are going 1-1. I don't know which one they'll win, but I think they'll definitely lose one. But yeah, since I gave them a win against the Colts, I'll give them a loss here.
Luke, are we friends? We've been friends for a long time because we must be seeing the same sorts of things. I thought, if you're going to win against the Colts, you're probably going to come back home and have a little letdown. Sean McVay's probably going to coach a little circle around our defense, and it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a loss.
That's funny because initially when I was going through this, I thought it was a win, but the more I think about it and think about how the Rams kind of finished last year, and the weapons that they
Stafford
have on offense.
Fucking good, dude.
Yeah, and I mean Puka played great. Cooper will be fully healthy. I think it's another L for us.
Now just imagine Stafford sitting back there with no pressure in his face.
You're talking about, man, Montez Sweat and Ngakoue will be back.
Can't wait for the D line of Austin Booker and Zach Pickens running after Stafford.
I mean, is their O-line very good, though?
It doesn't matter, man. Me, you, and Joe could go block the Bears D line.
That's just not true. That's just not a fact. Like,
if all 3 of us were combined into one massive lineman, I think we could.
Oh, potentially. Yeah, we could probably take out.
I weighed 180 this morning. What about you guys?
I don't know if I want to say my weight on the podcast.
Too
Why not?
much.
That's fine. Okay, so 215 for Chris and 215 for Luke. So that's 430 plus 180 is 610. 610-pound linemen. We're set.
Do we get 6 arms and 6 legs too?
We're 2 305-pound people.
We're set.
We're all
yeah.
set.
We
I
got
think it's gonna be a tough
Joe
one.
Krogman and Luke Gaither on the line. All right, so yeah, I'm saying loss, but I do think they'll go 1-1 versus the Colts and Rams. So that's why I'm doing that.
So through the first quarter of the season, Lucas and Joe, you have us at 2-2. I have us at 1-3.
Man,
Gosh,
the Bears start 1-3. I think
that's gonna be hard.
That's gonna
yeah,
be tough. They could probably win that Colts game, but I think it's gonna be tough. In Indy is the issue for me there. I mean, they could go 1-1 on that, that 3-4 game easily. So hopefully it's the latter that they win. But every damn year, dude, I get my hopes like, oh yeah, they'd be 4-0 by now. No, probably not. Watch that. What's going to happen is they'll end up winning that Texans game and losing both the Rams and Colts.
yeah, very possible.
They'll still be 2-2. All right. Week 5 is the former number 1 against the current number 1 pick overall. Win Bears. If they lose this game, which shit, dude, they damn near did last year, right? Did they barely win like 12-10 against the Panthers?
Yep.
All right, so the Kitty Cats come to Chicago and take an L. Panthers fans are hilarious. They think they're so good. They're so terrible.
This
Oh
is
my gosh.
on my birthday, so Bears, please. If there's only one win on the schedule, if it's going to be a 1-16 year, please,
Shit.
please. This is
Oh my
this is
God.
the one. Another.
Could you imagine if they went 1-15 or 1-16? Oh my God.
Another dog shit team on the schedule this has to be a win.
Versus the Panthers.
Deontay Johnson, Xavier Legette, Adam Thielen. Come on, we're covering those guys. Chuba Hubbard is our running back 1. Yeah, we're all over that. Little miniature Bryce Young is back there. Come on, Montez Sweat is going to have you for a snack.
Yum, yum.
All right, now we fly across the pond and we play the Jaguars in their favorite place to play. I am saying the Bears lose this one. Again, this is a toss-up game, but home field advantage, Jaguars. That's going to be a tough one to win.
Home field advantage.
I'm with you, Luke. I mean, I think back to the 2019 game against the Raiders, who were not good, but the Bears just were half asleep the entire game and played really, really poorly and lost to that Raiders team. I think this Jaguars team is probably better than that Raiders team, a little.
It's another team I think is pretty evenly matched with the Bears.
Yeah. But the fact I think you go over the
you got more
pond,
experience. They got more experience too.
I think it's going to be a loss for us. It stinks, but I think it's going to be a loss where you're pulling your hair out because you can see the win right in front of you, but you just can't do it. Can't get there. So I think it's going to be a frustrating week for the Bears and the Bears fan base. So just buckle up for it.
Chris, what's your analysis of the London game? Dun, 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 dun. Dum, ba-dum, bum, bum.
What is that?
The Queen's
That's
music.
like the royal theme.
Queen's music?
Dun, 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 dun.
I have zero respect for the Jaguars. I have no idea why. I think because I had Trevor Lawrence last year as a fantasy quarterback, and I thought it was a fucking trash panda. I just don't think they're very good.
So he was a raccoon.
Yes, he was a raccoon. They did take Brian.
That's what a trash
Davis,
panda is,
or Brian. Yeah. They did take Brian Thomas and they added Gabe Davis, but meh. And
They're basically the same player.
Yeah. I don't respect the Jags. I think we win this game.
Love it.
But that's probably where you guys will probably be right all year, and I'll probably be wrong all year. It's gonna be wild.
I mean, this really shouldn't factor into my decision, but how many times have the Bears disappointed us right before they go into a bye week?
Millions.
Like, it just feels right that the Bears lose and then you're pissed off for 2 weeks until the next game they play.
It doesn't feel right. It feels natural. It feels like it's how it's supposed to, or how it always happens.
Yep. I would have said lost, but toss up for sure.
We get a little third Saturday in October bye. That'll be great. Everybody can watch Alabama and Tennessee. But week number 8.
Are they playing on Sunday?
Well, third Saturday in October. Sorry.
Isn't
Isn't the 20th the third week of the year? The third week of the month?
You're confusing me.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yes, it's the third weekend of October.
I know, but the Alabama team don't play on Sunday.
Yeah, we're playing on Saturday, but everybody can just enjoy it, stress-free, I guess.
Right.
It's going to be a big game, but we don't care about that shit on this show.
Nope.
It's all about Bears and the Commanders.
That's right. That's where you'll catch me this year. I'm going again.
Now, this will be the third year in a row for you in the Washington Stadium, right?
No, I only went last year on Thursday night.
You didn't,
but I will be closer because I'm moving back closer to that area. So I think I'll be going to this game. I think the Bears should win this game. You got Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels. Were you guys shocked when this wasn't prime time? I was a little shocked when it wasn't. I'm happy it's not, but I was a little shocked they didn't.
I'm surprised. I thought it was a national or a in stone Thursday night game again.
Yes,
felt like it
for the third year in a row.
I was really praying that it wouldn't be. I got my wish.
Jaden Daniels, but
holy shit, they signed Austin Eckler this offseason.
Oh wow, man! They signed a bunch of guys. Like all the guys they signed this offseason, they would have had a mega team like 5 years ago.
Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, and Luke McCaffrey are their wide receivers. Jaden Daniels, Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson Jr. This is a big win. This is a stunt on them hoes kind of a win. Just kind of like last year was a little bit. I think this is going to be like, look, you still have to erase that nasty Thursday night, like 9-12 memory from like being in the red zone like 25 times and Justin Fields can't score a fucking touchdown.
I mean,
you got to erase that still. So teach those bastards what who we are.
Now,
I know we talked about this a little bit. Like, was the Newton kid from Illinois? Why the hell did Washington draft him? Like,
they're going to get rid of Allen.
They have 2 stud tackles. They're not getting rid of either of those dudes.
I have heard that there's certain teams been calling about Allen. They might trade him.
Huh. Watch it be us again.
I saw the Dolphins.
The Dolphinos, huh?
But again, this is kind of where I'm like, kudos to the schedule makers working in the Bears' favor, because out of this bye, they get the Commanders on the road, they get the Cardinals on the road, and then the Patriots at home. I mean, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I think the Bears catch fire in this little stretch. I think we all took a win there versus the Commanders, and I'm going to take a win versus Arizona as well.
Luke, I actually wrote on my sheet 5 W's in a row after the bye. So I'm with you. Yeah, win for the Commanders. Chris, you locking a win in for that 10-27 against the Commanders?
Yeah, win against the Commanders for sure.
And then you fly to Arizona.
And you fly to Arizona. I might. See, the crappy thing is that's Halloween weekend. I mean, it's the Thursday before, but I might try to dip down to Arizona to go to that game, since that's where I'm from. Because that'd be fun. But I think
Caleb Williams for Halloween.
Oh, I'll have so many jerseys.
You can be zombie Caleb Williams. That'd be great. Just walk around with your claw out. put some makeup on.
People are going to be like, "What's wrong with this guy? He's got a
Who is
disability."
this guy? Why does he have a Peyton Manning jersey on? Why is he a bear? Oh wait, that's Caleb Woods. I got a dub for the Cardinals as well. They have you know what's funny, man, is like at the beginning of the year, I think they were kind of dog shit, right? Because what's his name wasn't back, Kyler wasn't back, and they a lot of people thought that they would get the number 1 overall pick and take Caleb, which like they ended up playing pretty decent. So yeah, Kyler, James Conner, they drafted Marvin Harrison Jr., so there's a decent storyline there. Michael Wilson was good last year. I still think the Bears are better than this defense, but they have former Bear Bilal Nichols on the defensive line and signed Justin Jones to a $10 million deal. My favorite Bear that everybody loved to hate.
They're feisty, but I think the Bears should take care of them. Their
Buda
defense
Baker.
isn't really that good.
Taking care of business.
No. Sean Murphy Bunting. And then they have names that we know, but only because they were former Bears. There's nobody else in the league. Dude, Kyrie's Tonga's on this team. What the hell is happening down there? They're just signing a bunch of Bears castoffs. That's not a good look, Arizona.
It's a terrible strategy, by the way.
That's a bad one. Oh my goodness. That is hilarious, dude. Former Bears.
So after the Arizona game, they go to
Joe. What
back
was your
home.
Arizona pick?
Dub. Big dub.
Yeah.
You back
and
home.
we go back home and play the Patriots. Love this.
Gerard Mayo.
Monster dub. The Patriots stink. This is my prediction for the worst team in football this year. Them or the Panthers.
Drake May, though. I mean, it's a decent storyline with the first, or with the.
We'll see if he's even playing.
It's interesting that the first 3 picks that we play, but the other 2 this year, that's an interesting storyline. I wonder if that's ever happened before. Where the first 3 picks play each other. I don't know those 2 play each other at all, but Caleb playing both Jaden Daniels and Drake May within a couple of weeks of each other.
He's going to show him why he was drafted number 1.
Number 1. You're going to
Look up with you that I think this is a win, but
a win.
But the Patriots are going to have a good defense, and it's going to be an ugly win.
Going to be a win.
Yeah, but can they score any points?
No, but it's just going to be like an ugly, nasty win, like a
Gerard Mayo
17-14, pulling teeth type of win.
There's just too many questions with the Patriots. We don't know how Mayo is as a coach. They've already said Drake May is nowhere near where he needs to be, which we all kind of.
Oh yeah, he's throwing him under the bus.
Their receivers are
like
a bunch of guys.
Has Jacoby Brissett as the freaking starter.
He should be, but the outs don't really have any. Like they've thrown to Kendrick Bourne and a bunch of rookies. Like I don't know. That's just an ugly, ugly team there in New England.
Yeah,
hideous.
Yes, and they got Jalen Reagor and Juju.
Ugly,
Jalen Reagor
ugly
on the
team,
3rd
dude.
string. They got Kashawn Booty.
Kashawn Booty.
Dude, their starting right guard, his name is Sidney Sow.
He's actually pretty good.
Guard. I know, but what a name for a guard, dude. Like Sow, pig, hog, guard, Sidney Sow. That's awesome name. All right. I think that's a win as well.
How about this? Is this the latest that you've seen the Green Bay Packers on your schedule in how many years? At the next game, week number 11.
This is the first division game, dude, and it's mid-November. That's
first
wild.
division games, not until that is crazy. It's almost like baseball tried to do a couple of years ago, where they just dumped all of the division games into like overweighting division games.
Dude,
I thought that like 3 or 5 years ago that both Packers games were like week 14 and week 17 or something.
Yeah, they were. They were.
Yes, I remember that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to help. Glad I could be
I was
here.
just going to say this last stretch of games between week 11 and 18. Get your ice pack ready. That's just a
Where am I
black
at
and
on my
blue schedule.
Where am I at on my sheet? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Okay. So you said week 11 on. 1, 2, 3. I have the Bears week 11 on. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got them 4-4. I think it's gonna be tough. You better stack up some wins early.
So through 10 weeks, let's slow the bus down a little bit, gentlemen. Through 10 weeks, Lucas has us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 3. I have us at also 6 and 3, but a little different.
Me too.
And so does Joe, 6 and 3 through 10 weeks, 9 games, which is interesting. Packers Bears in Chicago. Are we gonna win one against Chicago or against Chicago in Chicago?
This is it. This is
Lucas,
the
you're throwing up the L.
Oh!
This is where the losing streak starts.
God damn it! Can we not start it next week, Luke?
Losing streak? I don't do that. They're not losing against the Vikings, dude. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I think they'll split, but I do think they'll lose a couple games in a row here. I think this game will be different than other Packers games. I do think it'll be close and actually down to the end. They'll be playing good football. I think the Packers will win, though. The Packers are a pretty good football team, and we don't give them enough credit.
No,
Why would we?
no. We're
Why
winning.
would
They're
we
a
give
good
them-
football team. They're a great coach. Fucking Jordan Love is way better than we all thought. Their wide receivers are way better than I thought.
No.
Now remember, I was cautioning everyone's shit talk on Jordan Love last year. But I think the real genius is LaFleur. LaFleur. Suck
I
it,
mean-
LaFleur.
And I don't know if it's better or worse that they swapped out Josh Jacobs for Aaron Jones. I mean, Jacobs
that's
is
a
better,
problem.
but Jones fucking murdered us. So
All right,
Yeah.
well, we're splitting. I'm going with a win. Luke's going with a loss. Chris,
I'm going with a win.
there we go. We love it. Moving on, the Vikings, the Vikings come to Soldier Field, 11-24. Luke already tipped his hand with a loss. You want to explain?
yeah, I don't know. I think the Bears will be riding a nice high until ebbs and flows of the season. You lose a game, you get a little down in the dumps, you drop another one that you probably should win to a division rival. Just one of those games. I think it could surprise people. The Bears drop a game that you really think they'll win that they just don't.
Stinky. I think you win this game at home, but I just wrote down W's now. I think I have it as a split. What's my? Yeah, I have it as a split.
So what do you have for this one, Joe?
I'm taking a win at home.
I agree. You're gonna take an L here, Lucas?
Yep.
Dumbass.
Now I think you're about to hit a real tough spot after the Vikings.
Yeah.
You go
Yeah.
and Thursday, right after short turnaround, you play in the Lions on Thanksgiving.
W. See, I'm taking the W here.
Okay.
See, what the hell? Lucas is drunk.
I'm not drunk, dude. We fucking
taking
own
an
Jared
L here.
Goff.
Yeah, but not on Thanksgiving in Detroit. I'm taking the L. What do you got here, Joe?
Loss.
Yeah.
I'm taking the dub here.
The Bears do own Jared Goff, though. Yeah, I just don't think this is the year. Bears then travel far, far away to the land of the Golden Miners, the 49ers. Yeah, this is probably another L. Unfortunately, they might. I don't know. Brock Purdy's overrated.
I'm giving him
I
a
agree
loss.
on that, but I think it's going to be a loss.
Yeah. The rest of the team's too good. Monday Night Football.
This is my dad's birthday.
The Vikings. Week 15. Your dad's birthday. Well, that's so sweet.
Yeah, sweet. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Pops. Man, I really hope that Caleb can be good in prime time.
Yeah, I'm saying win.
Oof.
Man, I would like to see a sweep of the Vikings. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think they'll probably lose the road game.
Yeah, I agree. I have 3 losses in a row. Lions, 49ers, and Vikings right back to back to back.
Yep, same. But we got a couple winnable games coming up. Week 16, Lions at Bears. This is where I think the Bears win this one. Joe Mustache agrees.
I agree.
Okay, Lucas.
I want to say we beat the Lions again, but
Got the double win.
Do it. Be brave.
I'll be brave. I'll say we'll beat the Lions. The Bears just, for whatever reason, for as long as I can remember the past few years, they just play very well versus the Lions. I don't know what it is. They do.
But they lose a lot.
Because the Lions are imposters.
They do, but a lot of the games they've lost
shit ton of times.
And a lot of times it was just because the quarterback could not finish a fucking drive or they did something stupid or turn the ball over and let the Lions back in it.
Yeah.
I'm being bold here.
I like it. I like your boldness. All right. I'm going with a win as well. So all 3 of us win against the Lions. And then another short week. Oof. A couple Thursday nights in quick succession. At home with the Seattle Seahawks. Shane Waldron against his old team.
It's going to be a tough one to win after that stretch of games, man.
I had a win written down, so I'm going to stick with it.
It's a coin flip game for me, but I'm saying loss.
I think they win this one. I have no respect for the Seahawks.
I mean, neither staff. Geno Smith,
Geno Smith, no Shane Waldron.
It's just the Thursday night games are ugly, man. I don't know.
Yeah, but you got us dominating the Lions on Thanksgiving, which is the Thursday.
Yeah, but it's different. It's a big Thursday night after that big stretch of games. You just played the Lions twice, Vikings twice, 49ers.
Yeah, but see, this one's different.
Especially in my situation, you just come
back
off
against the Lions.
You come off a huge win versus the Lions. You're riding that high, and then you lose this fucking stinker. It just makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, but you also had us beating the Vikings in Minnesota the week before as well.
Oh man, on the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm taking a loss here.
All right. Well, we finish up the season in the stinky cheese of Lambeau Field.
Hell, against the Taliban.
Against Jordan Al-Qaeda, apparently.
Hamas.
Hamas cheese sandwich. Yeah, I think we lose in Green Bay.
I do too. It's going to be a loss. Going to go into the playoffs on a sour note.
I think they're winning this last
playoffs
one.
At this one.
10-7 is what I landed on. If you go, oh my God, I will lose my fucking shit if you have to win the last game against Green Bay to get in and you don't. Oh my God, please, that's the torture that is my destiny.
We all landed on 10-7 though, which is crazy.
I think that sounds about right. I do think the schedule is. There's enough toss-up games in here where you're like the Bears are going to win a handful of them toss-up games. And toss-up games to me include the Lions, the Vikings, the Seahawks, the Jaguars, the Colts, teams like that. And then there's a few layups in there where you're like, they should absolutely beat this team.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the Colts.
The Vikings are. I really can't tell how good or bad the Vikings will be. I think people are all think they'll be horrible. I don't think they'll be horrible, but they'll definitely be beatable.
I just don't.
Who do they replace Dalvin Cook with?
I just don't see JJ McCarthy being that.
Dude, Dalvin
guy,
Cook hasn't
dude.
been there in forever.
I know. I'm saying, who
Yeah,
do they
dude.
replace?
They had Madison last
Yeah,
year.
Madison's not there anymore, is he?
They
No, they
picked up,
signed Aaron Jones. They signed Aaron Jones.
Mark both went down as a loss now. Damn it.
God.
Oh, shit. This freaking guy. But we got DeAndre Swift, so we got the Lions.
We should have
leftovers.
just signed Aaron Jones just to keep him off other teams.
That's a true story. That is a true story. Then we could do what every Bears fan wants to do and trade Khalil Herbert for some stupid reason. Stupid reasons.
I mean, the NFC North is going to be crazy this year, to be honest. Who do you guys think wins? I don't know if I have
Bears
the Lions.
10-7.
I don't know if it's as easy as saying the Lions will just win again. I think Green Bay is really going to give them a run for their money.
Yeah, I agree.
Luke, you need to go wash your mouth out.
Just telling you how I see it, man.
Joe needs to be more realistic so he doesn't have such high hopes and that get crashed so hard.
I really do like. I mean, my kind of homer take is that I think the Lions are overrated as hell.
Because they all suck.
I think that's fair. I think they are well coached, though. I think Dan Quinn's
Yeah,
a
they're
good coach.
definitely well coached. I don't know, man. There's just
I
a
don't
lot
think
of
his supporting
fluky
coaches
shit
are
to get
good.
them. Like, I mean, I had this argument with people like when Goff got paid. It's just like he played well enough to get that contract, but he's not really like he needs everything around him perfect to win. He's not going to elevate the team if he goes down. Like if they're trailing in a game, he's not going to lead you to victory 9 times out of 10.
If they'd have lost Ben Johnson, it would have been a huge problem.
Yeah,
In my opinion. Yeah.
he'll keep you in the game, but like that's the thing. That's how the Bears have got him. Those they've gotten Goff in trouble, and then they just were never able to put him away.
Well, I can't wait for Thomas Brown to be our offensive coordinator next year after Shane Waldron gets a head coaching job next year for making Caleb a superstar.
I think even if Caleb's really good, Waldron might stay next year, well, at least one more year. Who knows?
It's funny, man, because everybody like you think like it's an auto thing, like kind of like how we thought Ian Cunningham was like an automatic GM this year. That didn't happen. Or
Well,
like how
I
everybody
think we're
thought
seeing-
Ben Johnson was an automatic head coach this year.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think we're seeing a new trend now in the NFL where these offensive coaches aren't necessarily hopping on the first job they get. They really want to go to a good situation because you really, most of the time, you get one chance, and if you blow it, you blow it. So, like, I mean, we saw Bobby Slowick on the Texans. He's staying there to get more experience. He wants to keep winning with them. Ben Johnson on the Lions. Like, these dudes want to stay put for a little bit, build a culture, learn how to win, and grow a young quarterback before they're, taking the leap of faith.
Idiots. Just take the chance when they get it. Who knows if you're ever going to get another one, though.
That's how guys like Dave Canales end up with a job in Carolina.
Who?
Exactly.
That's who the head coach of Carolina is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
wasn't he the
Bucs
Bucs?
offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he was also Seattle's quarterback coach under Waldron.
Wow. Well, I'm glad. I'm happy with the coaching staff we have. I thought the Thomas Brown hire was really good, bringing him
Dude,
in.
they tremendous coaching staff, man.
They really are. It's weird to see the Bears do all the things that like people think they should do. It's weird to see them be like, oh, what would be a really good idea is if you brought in as much talent and as many coaching minds around this quarterback as possible.
And players like wide receivers around.
That's what I mean.
Keenan Allen, Odunze, like.
That's what I mean.
I mean,
by talent.
you called the Thomas Brown thing. I was shocked when they hired him as like an assistant and he didn't get an OC job.
Well, I mean, I think like, I was definitely not. I don't think it was an original thought. I think somebody had said, "Don't be surprised if one of these other interviews for the OC ends up on the staff. So I thought Thomas Brown was going to end up being either the QB coach or some sort of assistant, just because they interviewed him. Because they interviewed a bunch of like the McVay tree and the Shanahan tree. So like it's all just one stick now. There's no tree. There's no branches. It's just one big stick now.
One log.
Well, Mike Shanahan's log.
Yeah, let's not call it that, dude.
The Shanny log.
You disgusting Joe Gaither. Well, we got an hour's worth of content in tonight. I don't have much else to talk about. Happy with how the schedule came out. Happy with how how it eases the Bears into the season.
Yes,
and I also kind of enjoy how the Bears don't have a million Monday night games again this year. It's a lot of 1 o'clock games, which I enjoy. And I don't know how you guys feel. I always like them playing on Thanksgiving. I think that's a really fun one, especially in the early slot is like amazing.
Gives me an excuse to not engage with my family, so I love that.
I also don't hate London games. Like 7:30 in the morning football games are great for me.
Cracking a beer as soon as you wake up, there's no better feeling.
I don't know about that, but yeah,
Kegs and eggs, mate.
Shit, dude, that's a thing here. It's a concert. Do you guys have? Is that everywhere on like St. Patty's Day? Kegs and eggs.
That's what I did in college. I don't know.
Oh, dude, I can't think of a time I opened a beer that early unless it was from like the night before.
Unless I was eating eggs
and I was still still awake. Yeah. Oh yeah. Man, eggs and beer. That sounds awful unless it's in like a burrito. We had some eggs in a burrito. Then I'm with
that'll be a fun one though. The London game. Freaking F the Jags, man, in their home stadium there.
What game? All right, give me two things. What game are you most looking forward to? And what game, if you could go to any game, would you want to go to?
If I could go to any game, I think I would be choosing. I think I'd choose the Panthers game on my birthday.
That's what I was thinking, Joe. It's kind of low hanging fruit though, and it's just because I know we'll beat the shit out of them. And I hate the Panthers so much. Like I would just want to go and be there for that. But also, it's hard to not say the Packers at home just because like that's a once in a lifetime experience.
All right, so you can have a bonus one because I'm gonna throw a bonus one in there. So I would most want to go to the home opener because I've never been to a home opener, and to go to Caleb Williams' home opener would be
sick,
freaking awesome. And there's a good chance we should compete in that game. I don't want to be Mr. Optimistic anymore.
Tap the expectation. I like
it. Yeah. Because I think that would be super awesome. The game I would go to. The road game I would go to, I would want to go to San Francisco. It's been a long time since I've been there. That stadium's supposed to be super awesome, Levi Stadium, so I'd like to go to that. And then, like, the game I'm most looking forward to is any goddamn game. The Bears beat the Packers. So that's going to happen week 11. It's going to happen one of these times.
Joe, what is the game you're most looking forward to?
Probably going to be Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Man, I do.
You guys like playing on Thanksgiving?
I love it. I really do. That early slot is like perfect. It's like right before, at least normally in my family, we eat like kind of later afternoons, like right before then. It's like a nice downtime to watch that game before the festivities start for me. So
my family leaves me alone. They're all cooking, and I'm just like in my own little world. Love it.
Yeah. I'm going to have to figure out what we do because my brother-in-law hosts, and not that it won't be on, but I like to like hear what's going on in the game, and there's a good chance the volume won't be on because people will be talking and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go like hide in a corner with a TV.
I'm not gonna lie though, I know I said I don't love the primetime games, but I am excited for that. That Texans game will be fun to watch.
Yeah,
Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Yeah, CJ's good.
That's just a fun. It's a fun
tape
game.
on him now. Yeah, it's a fun game, especially with a top two pick from last year, number 1 pick for this year. Man, there's just a lot of young, exciting quarterbacks or highly drafted quarterbacks on this freaking schedule, dude. I mean, you've got Will Levis to open the year, second year, right? Second year guy. You got CJ, second year guy. You got Anthony Richardson, second year guy. You jump to week 5. You got Bryce Young, second year guy. One of the older young guys is still Trevor Lawrence, but number 1 pick overall. You got Jaden McDaniels. You got Kyler. You got number 3 pick Drake May. Jordan Love's still a young quarterback. You got JJ McCarthy, old man Goff, old man Brock Purdy, and the JJ McCarthy again, old man Goff. Geno's there's a shit ton of just young quarterbacks on this, young exciting quarterbacks on this schedule. It should be a fun year. Hopefully we can be good.
Hopefully we can be as good as we just laid out.
Yeah, 10-7 would be good. I mean, I honestly don't see. I mean, unless what could make them 12-5, right?
I mean, there's a few toss-up
Caleb being that good,
really.
or
yeah, there's a few toss-up games. You'll probably have to sweep at least one of your division rivals and then split with the other ones.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But there's a few toss-ups in there, like the Jags, the Seahawks, the Colts, the Rams, that I think they could definitely win. I don't think they're layups, but I think they could absolutely win.
Right. Whack game like the 49ers starts dumping.
Yeah, you never know. And plus, injuries happen to other teams. You never know.
I just wonder how that defense is going to shake out. I worry about what you talk about, Lucas, with not being that good. But I believe that the only weakness is that other defensive end spot. I think the linebackers are good. I think the secondary is very good. I think those 2 young D tackles are probably, good enough. If they freaking better be with the fact that we didn't address it at all. So I'm excited for the season. We'll see. Sing us.
Bear down, Chicago Bears. Make every play clear the way to victory. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Put up a fight with the might so fearlessly. We'll never forget the way you thrill the nation with your T formation. Bear down, Chicago Bears, and let them know why you're wearing the crown. You're the pride and joy of Illinois, Chicago Bears. Bear down.
Bear down.